Ooh, ooh. Big Fish-ish, man. Y'all know what it is. We got a good one for y'all today. We're going to be focused on the business side of things. And I hit a milestone. Hit a milestone that I wasn't sure initially what it was, but afterwards, reflecting on it, I realized just how important it was because it was the first time that I decided to respect my business on this type of level in which I did something that all of us will probably have to go through at one point in time on our journey to becoming successful, which is turning down a potential client or potential partner. In this situation, it probably was both, but something just didn't feel right. You know, there was a lot of things, but I don't want to give too much of the story, but it seemed like a lot of things, and this is why this one in particular was so hard to turn down, or may have been, I may have been hesitant to just cut ties, is because it seemed like the perfect person for that particular role, the perfect person that could get us in the rooms that we needed to get into, that understood the concept that we were looking to deliver, and could be the face of one aspect of our services. So, what made me not follow through and decide to partner? It just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. There were other people involved. It seemed like from a stability standpoint, there were some questions there. And then just from, this person wanted to bring on this other person it just went a whole bunch of different places. And I don't want to focus on that aspect of it, but I want to focus on the decision. And why I made that decision is because of what I said earlier. I started to respect my business, respect the services, and respect the offerings that we bring to the table. I say we, this is something that I'm building with a couple partners of mine. And it meant something. Here we got on the phone, and I I didn't even tell my boy, that I was shutting it down. He helps with his business, is vital to it as well. But I didn't even tell my boy. I was like, yo, I should have told you this before I spoke to the person, but I had to shut that down. It just wasn't the right fit. And he totally understood. And he said, he kind of had the same energy that I had, where it may have been expected if we were earlier in our career, we would have said like, oh man, like we missed out on this opportunity. Like, worry about that, worry about any issues or hesitations that we may have now. Worry about that later if it does end up turning into something. And instead, it was both of us saying like, nah, like we know that we have something. We know that we have a service that delivers serious value and niched value, something that it's a lane that we are in, that we've been doing our due diligence, doing our research, and one that we're going to hit the ground running. So it was important for us. It is important for us to make sure that every decision that we're making, especially when it comes to who we decide to align ourselves with, that it's consistent and that it's going to be decisions made for the long run and not the short term. Forget let's just get it off the ground first. No, we know what we got. Let's look long term. We don't want to constantly be interchanging, different people that we work with if we don't have to, and we want to prevent any issues that we feel initially from coming up, later on through the process. So, you're probably looking at it like, this doesn't seem like, any milestone or anything that's important for a particular business, but it was. And I keep going back to this word respect. A lot of times we don't give the proper respect to the value and services that we bring to the table. We don't give it the proper value. Here where it's almost as if, especially if we're starting something new and going out on our own, we may value our services based on what somebody else will pay for them or what we think we can lock them in with, rather than valuing our services based on the amazing value that we're bringing to the table, and us setting our price, not based on what somebody feels like paying at that time. It's a minor change, but just that change in perspective is going to do a bunch of things. It's going to make sure that we hold ourselves accountable to delivering on a higher level when it comes to value, and it's going to make sure that others know exactly what it means to work with us. And when you start to turn down clients and turn down different opportunities that may come, your way, it's going to give you a different type of confidence that we don't need to work with everybody. We don't want to work with everybody. We have something very specialized that if it fits and aligns with what you have and what you're looking for, then we can move forward. If it's not going to be the right fit, then, we don't want to waste your time, and we definitely don't want you wasting ours. And that was a new energy for us. It was a new energy for us. It's something that we spoke on. However, it's something that we never implemented until this point. And I think that's a lesson that we can pretty much apply across the board when it comes to other areas of our life, whether it's relationships, whether it's partnerships, and, other areas, your small business, your big business, whatever it may be, whether it's something that just doesn't work with you. It could be, a certain way of life that you're living, a certain diet that you have. At some certain points, we need to value and respect ourselves enough to make those decisions to just go, hey, I'm cutting this off immediately. I'm cutting it off immediately because I value myself too much. I value my business too much. I value the services and offerings that I bring to the table too much to align them or to compromise in certain areas just because I want to get some short-term gains. You get what I'm saying? So it's looking at things big picture wise, looking at ourselves purpose. What is the overall purpose of our business? What is the overall purpose of ourselves? When we focus on those things, it makes it a lot easier to make decisions, sound decisions that are going to put our business and ourselves in the best possible position to win. So I'm sure a lot of us have, dealt with those things in other areas of our life. All you got to do is just scroll down Instagram. You'll see that, a lot of people deal with that type of thing in their relationships, but, it's tough to walk away from short-term feel goods, rather than, just staying in there, staying in your comfort, being content. It's when we demand more out of ourselves, when we put out that energy, it's when the energy that's going to come back to us is going to be more aligned with exactly it is what we're looking for, rather than what we've compromised to grab. So, that's just was a big step for us. Hopefully, we don't get into too many problems. When I say we, our community doesn't get into too many issues where we're dealing with that type of thing to where we have to constantly turn down, different partners when it's too late, separate from partners when it's too late. Hopefully we can make those decisions from the jump. We've all heard it before. If you talk to anybody that has a business that works in HR, the most important thing is the initial decision. Who you bring on to work with, who you bring on to partner with, what type of initial clients that we're taking off the bat, who we decide to hire in particular roles. It's all in the hiring process. We have to do our due diligence. And when something doesn't sit well, you could take a chance if you want, but when when you get in a position where you have a lot on the table and you have something great on the table, I should say, you're not going to let anything get in the way of that, anything compromise what it is that you're building, because you know that you have something special. So maybe that's an indication of, whether or not, what we have and what we're bringing to the table, whether it is something that we need to continuously need to work on, which all of us, we always need to work on. But, these are some of the things that, we can always, find out, how we need to sharpen our tools based on who we allow ourselves to work with when it compromises different things, whether it could be morally or a bunch of different areas. Not that this was, fitting to that. This just didn't, my particular situation, it just didn't necessarily make the most business sense. It didn't feel like it made the most business sense at that particular time. There was just, certain intuition, and then even logically. I shouldn't, we always talk about the feelings versus the emotions and stuff, or feelings and the emotions compared to the logic. This was a very logical decision, just based on like, hey, these type of situations, we know how these tend to work out. If it doesn't work out, it could be bad for our business. So therefore, we're not even going to take the risk. And it's funny because when you start to, when you decide to turn down somebody that, you previously wouldn't turn them down, it's almost as if, all right, I don't know if I want to make that analogy, but you know what? It is what it is. You ever been in a situation where you used to want stuff so bad, before you mature, you trying to get all the girls and stuff like that. And it feels good to get the attention of the girls, the bad girls, different things. But then you get to a point where nothing feels better than turning a girl down that you would have bagged before, and just walking away for you because it no longer aligns with, what you may want in life or where you are right now. But, or it could just be like, nah, I'm better than that, sweetheart. I'm better than that. So I'm sure, ladies, y'all been on the other side of it as well. Not to single y'all out, but respect your business, respect yourself, understand, and that comes with being honest with your value. Be honest with your value to the point where you can build it up to where you need to get it to where you can respect it. And then once you have it on that level, that you are comfortable sending it out to the market with, only take on partners and clients that align with your vision, that align with the success that it is that you are striving to get. So, like I said, it was a little milestone for me. Once you start doing that across the board, once that junk food, hey, I'm better than that. Once not working out, living an unhealthy lifestyle, I'm better than that. Once, you decide that that relationship is no longer, giving you what you're giving it, I'm done with that. And then all of these areas, the energy now that you're putting out is, this is not good enough for me. So therefore, the energy that you're going to receive is going to be on a higher level. So y'all let me know what y'all think of that. Let me know what you got from it. Like or dislike, it is what it is. But just make sure that you do one, and make sure that you're subscribing to our channel. We're making a big push on YouTube. To make sure that we're giving y'all valuable and relevant content. So we would appreciate it if you do subscribe, share it with some friends that you think may find it relevant as well. And let's just continue to build, all right? Onward and upward, strength and honor, get to the bag with integrity, of course. Ooh.